Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up, Public Utilities Regulatory Commission announces a 1.14% upward adjustment in electricity tariffs for all consumer categories effective the 1st of October 2025. Also coming up, Ghana earns more than 15 billion cedis from international visitors between the fourth quarter of 2022 and the third quarter of 2023. We'll hear more from the Ghana International Travelers Report released by the Ghana Statistical Service.
Together, overnight visitors spent 15.2 billion Ghana cedis, highlighting tourism's enormous economic impact.
So coming up, registration for the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair starts. So we'll tell you more about the fair, which promises to be the biggest exhibition for small and medium-sized businesses, scheduled to take place soon.
We further look, why don't we bring all these people together, those we have engaged and those who are outside, bring them together under one roof so they can have access to funding. Thankfully, EcoBank is our major sponsor.
My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us. Details coming up. Thanks for staying with us. First up, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, has announced a 1.14% upward adjustment in electricity tariffs for all consumer categories effective the 1st of October this year. Water tariffs will remain unchanged for the same period. In a statement signed by Acting Executive Secretary Shafiq Suleiman, the Commission said the decision follows its quarterly tariff review mechanism, which tracks key economic factors that affect the cost of delivering utility services. These include the Ghana cedi US dollar exchange rate, domestic inflation, the electricity generation mix, and fuel prices, especially natural gas. Well, joining me on Zoom, Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Insia. Good afternoon to you. Interesting, we spoke about tariffs yesterday, and now we hear this. The PURC adjusting the tariffs for electricity up to 1.14%. Your reaction? Unmute, Benjamin.
Okay, thank you very much. We at SEMSE support cost reflective tariffs within our environment or within the power sector, especially to ensure that utilities are very financially viable and also sustainable. But this must be done within a framework of transparency and also within a framework of balanced or fair pricing. Now, if you look at what is happening currently, I think that there's a lot of unfairness on the part of PRC when it comes to tariff adjustment. And our argument is based on the recent announcement they've made. Their indication is that price of electricity is expected to increase by 1.14%. And one of the reasons was that there's an under-recovery that the Ghanaian electricity user must pay. But forgetting that in the third quarter, there was over-recovery. I think they didn't transfer this windfall to the Ghanaian electricity consumer. Also, in the third quarter, that the second quarter tariff adjustment, there was a windfall because in the third quarter, the cedi used in computing tariff was around 15 Ghana cedi, 70 pesos. By June, the cedi had appreciated by about 34%. But when they were setting the third quarter tariff, they didn't add the windfall, which is the over recovery. In the third quarter, when they set the tariff, the CD actual CD rate to the dollar saw a bit of depreciation against the dollar. In that, when they were computing or when they just announced this particular tariff, they've added under recovery for the for the electricity end user to pay. I think that is an unfair approach. Now, two, we also observed that in the third quarter, they added reserve margin and also added 27% of fuel cost. However, in the fourth quarter, they didn't introduce these new margins. It goes to confirm our argument earlier that there was no justification whatsoever for the third quarter tariff adjustment, especially the upward adjustment. There was no any justification. I think the PURC just wanted some revenue from Ghanaians and decided to adjust tariff upward, and that is an unfair practice. Now, when we talk of under recoveries should not only be on exchange rate. Under recoveries could also be on inflation. The reason is that, for example, when you project expected inflation or annual inflation of about 20%, what it means is that we are thinking that within the year, prices of commodities are expected to rise by 20% in your projection. When your expectations are not met, or when prices of your commodities do not rise generally by that expectation, it means that certain percentage points have been reduced, and that could be over recovery. And that over recovery is expected to be sent or transferred to the end user. So I think this 1.14% is not expected. We are not expecting any increment because with respect to inflation, there's an over recovery that the consumers must benefit. And historically, there has been over recoveries that the consumer is expected to benefit. But the PURC, as usual, wants to benefit the utilities and will come to us to increase this particular tariff. And I think that the reason why PURC has always been on an ascendancy of increasing tariff is because they also benefit from this tariff, because there are certain percentages on the tariff that go to PURC. So when tariff increase, based on a constant percentage, their revenues will also increase. And they are also in expectant of revenue. And that is why they are increasing these tariffs at this point in time.
Yeah, and this, coming just days or weeks after the PURC engaged some of these utility companies, do you think it has also got to do with the challenges faced by these companies when it comes to the operations?
Yeah, I think that the challenges have always been overstated, and I think the challenges have always been on the part of end users to help them recover. But the challenges are internal. I told you yesterday that if the utilities are very cost effective and very efficient, I think that some of these challenges will not always be passed on to the end user yet, but they are not cost efficient because they know at the end of the day, certain cost elements or any inefficiencies will be passed on to the end user to pay. And if you look at this particular tariff increment, it is not reflective of what proposals the various utilities have just made. I think the proposals they've made are for the major year review or major tariff review beginning 2026 and ends around 2030. This quarterly adjustment has to do with a recent continuous upward adjustment as observed by the recent PURC based on certain indicators or data that we are not aware of. Because if you look at the actual data that we are supposed to use in pricing electricity, we think that price of electricity must be lower than what we are paying today. I think that maybe in 2026, the recent expectations or recent projections or recent revenue expectations and also recent tariff projections made by the various utilities will become very reflective. So we are expected that maybe the first quarter of 2026, tariff will increase again.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time with us. Benjamin says, the Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy. Joining me with a quick reaction as well, President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the marketplace. So, first of all, I just want to get your reaction to the latest tariff review.
Well, Dara, thank you so much, and I'm glad you got that discussion going with Benjamin, because he has dealt with the technical aspects of upward adjustment. For us, we are business people, and then also look at how these tariffs adjustments affects us that electricity has gone up cumulatively for about 20% in 1 year. 20%. So business, it means that we are having to pay more when it comes to cost build up for our operations. And it's just to say that customers must continue to brace themselves up for adjustments in the various services that tourism and hospitality industry also provide. Because the typical business then you have to make certain decisions with regards to your party. So, and like Benjamin said, this is even related to the 2022 to 2025 adjustment that now from next year we are going to see all this is going to affect our operations in terms of cost. So our customers will just have to raise themselves increase price.
Apologies, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr. We are losing your audio. We don't know why. It looks like we have a bad connection to you. We'll try and see what we can do about that. And we'll surely revisit this discussion once we fix those challenges. But let's turn to other news. Ghana earned more than 15 billion cedis from international visitors between the fourth quarter of 2022 and the third quarter of 2023. This is according to the latest Ghana International Travelers Report released by the Ghana Statistical Service today. The earnings reflect spending by approximately 900,000 international visitors who arrived in the country during the 12-month period. Speaking at the release, government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu highlighted the importance of tourism and international travel in driving foreign exchange inflows and supporting Ghana's economic growth.
164 same-day visitors. Many were in transit, but a significant share came for holidays, leisure, and recreation. Most were men with adults aged 36 to 64 years, consistently recording the highest numbers. Nearly three-quarters of them traveled by air, and their favorite attractions included the Bisa Abrewa Museum, Cape Coast Castle, the National Museum, and the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Collectively, same-day visitors spent 24 million Ghana cedis, providing a boost to local businesses. The bigger story comes from overnight visitors. Ghana welcomed 888,584 overnight travelers, with most coming to visit friends, relatives, though business trips were also significant. West Africans and Americans showed strong interest in our tourist sites. Hotels were the most popular accommodation, and the top destinations included Independence Square, the Arts Center, Cape Coast Castle, and the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Together, overnight visitors spent 15.2 billion Ghana cedis, highlighting tourism's enormous economic impact. When we combine both groups, Ghana received more than 901,000 international visitors, who spent a total of 15.42 billion Ghana cedis. These numbers matter. Same-day visitors show potential for short-stay packages, while overnight visitors remind us of the power of family, businesses, and cultural ties.
Now, registration for the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair has started. The fair, which promises to be the biggest exhibition show for small and medium-sized businesses, is scheduled to take place from Friday, October 31 to Sunday, November 2, 2025 at the Good Park near Cromwell. General Manager of Sales and Marketing at the Multimedia Group, David Max Fuga, gave more details when he appeared on the Super Morning Show.
The major complaint is they don't have access to markets. Some of them don't have access to funding. Okay. And some of them, even technology is a challenge. Now, just imagine we have done 1,000, and there could be more than 10,000, 20,000 of them out there. And so we thought that, look, why don't we bring all these people together, those we have engaged and those who are outside, bring them together under one roof so they can have access to funding. Thankfully, EcoBank is our major sponsor. And then they can also have access to be able to network. And also be able to engage government agencies who will be there. Because some of them, even basic registration is a big issue. Okay. So we want to put all this together, the entrepreneurs, the government agencies, put all of these people under one roof so that they can have access to market, they can have access to fund, they can be able to network. Some of them even need markets outside. So this is an opportunity for them to get those access. So that's why we are putting this together. And it's led by Joy Business, but it's powered by Joy Prime.
That's very special. So, I mean, where will it happen?
Yes, it's happening at the Good Park, Accra Mall. Normally, when you say Good Park, people don't know where Good Park is. Good Park is at the Accra Mall. So it is happening at the Good Park, Accra Mall. It's a 4-day event, and it's starting from the 31st of October to the 4th of to the second Sunday, the 2nd of November. So that's the date and the venue for this. Now, for those who want to participate, since we want to solve a problem, now when you register, you are entitled to an exhibition booth. Okay, very big. You will be organizing training sessions, customer service, and marketing sections. Again, there'll be networking.
All right, so if you are an SME, here's an opportunity to register and stay tuned for some more information. You're watching The Marketplace. When we come back, French media giant Canal Plus has officially taken control of multimedia group, MultiChoice Group, I should say. We are going to discuss that on Let's Talk Tech coming up after this break. All right, welcome back to The Marketplace and Let's Talk Tech. French media giant Canal Plus has officially taken control of MultiChoice Group, marking a major shift in Africa's pay TV and streaming landscape. As of September 19, all conditions for the merger had been met, making the takeover unconditional and signaling the end of MultiChoice's 3-decade run as an independent African media powerhouse. I'm joined by lead for Eyes of Africa, Henry Cobbler. I've got 2 questions for you, Henry. First, how could Canal Plus MultiChoice merger influence Ghana's digital streaming and broadband ecosystem, especially with increasing demand for on-demand content?
Thank you very much, Daryl. So, I mean, first of all, I would say congratulations to the team at DSTV. They've done a very great job. I mean, 3 decades of running pay TV, shaping cultural consumptions, sporting, broadcasting, and entertainment. That's no joke. I mean, most of the World Cups and Super Press and Nigerian movies that we're part to enjoy, basically all coming through DSTV, and that's a great job that you sort of have to do. But again, the market is shifting. Again, you're going to have to realize that there are quite a number of global giants that are coming in with Netflix and Amazon Prime and all of those streaming services coming into play. And again, with younger audiences, and again, also looking at affordability, I think that's a changing behavior that comes in. And so again, Canal coming in comes to bring in some sort of life to it. Again, if you're looking at the numbers that they're sort of going to channel and the number of people they're going to have to serve, I mean, worldwide, it gives you that point to feel that it's going to open up the game to have more content produced and thrown out to the ordinary African public and Ghanaians as well. And that really comes in as a great one.
I was going to ask you if you see opportunities for Ghanaian tech startups, particularly in content, payments, and data analytics.
Yes, I mean, I think that there could be. It depends on how we're going to have to position ourselves to be able to grab these opportunities that are going to be out there for us. And again, I think that it comes in as a point of worldwide. Pay TV comes in streaming services, and again, the market is also readily available for anybody to sort of grasp in. And I think that Canal basically opens their doors to that. Again, if you're looking at it, it's a French media. And with the impasse of French issues in Africa, I'm thinking that media is going to be one of the points they're going to use to still penetrate within the African region. And so again, they're going to also have to open up their doors to quite a number of people, again, if they really want to still have their hold within the African region. And so yes, there are going to be opportunities that are going to be available for the tech industry and streaming services and any other person that wants to get in.
And how might this measure shape data collection, personalization, and user privacy policies for Ghanaian subscribers, given the growing importance of data in media?
So I think that, number one, the infrastructure is already there. And from satellite to streaming, data affordability comes in. It's going to be a good one, I can say. For me, it's data shaping and analytics comes in a broad perspective to understand it. And again, because they're already in the system and they already have the infrastructure, it's going to be a bit easier. Again, with artificial intelligence and then big data, I'm sure that having a broader audience gives you that leverage to be able to sort of understand and do a lot of data analytics there. I feel that it's the audience that are going to be, the numbers is just going to speak. And again, if the numbers are speaking, you're going to have to do a lot of data gathering. And again, already, like I had said, they already spread all over Africa already. And so it's really not a lot of work to do. You just have to just hold on to the audiences and then just see what they could do. Understand the market here. I'm sure that they sort of have a change of leadership, but again, the undergrounds and the people that run it from different countries really are doing a great job. So I think that it gives us a good platform to gather a lot of data and then have content being produced for the kind of sessions of geographical locations that they would be handling.
Thank you so much, Henry Kobler, lead Eyes of Africa, myjournline.com/business. That's where to get the day's latest stories, more on the Ecobank Joy Business SME Fair and the tourism sector report released by the Ghana Statistical Service. You may want to read more on that. myjournline.com/business. Stay tuned. Money Lab up next.
Hi. Welcome to Money Lab. My name is Paul Kofi Manti, the Managing Director of EDC Investment Limited, a member of the Ecobank Group. We have been discussing financial independence, and today I want to drill down a bit on the definition of financial independence. Financial independence simply means getting to that stage in life where, with or without salary, you can live your desired lifestyle. So if you need 10,000 cedis, example, for your desired lifestyle, it means you're going to need 120,000 cedis within the year. But watch it, if you have investment of 1 million Ghana cedis and you can get an average interest of 18%, that will give you 180,000 a year. If you divide that by 12, that is 15,000 cedis every month. So you need 10,000 for your desired lifestyle. Your investment generates 15,000 every month. At this stage, we can say you are financially independent. Remember, financial independence begins with two important beliefs. Belief number one is that my financial future is going to be better than the present. And belief number two is that I have the power to make financial independence a reality. Many thanks for making time for Money Lab, and never forget, financial independence is possible.